who will be, and more importantly, who should be the new general manager for the Chicago Bulls. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA, and here to talk to you guys a little bit about the Bulls. So if you're a Bulls fan or an NBA fan in general, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that big red subscribe button down below if you haven't already. What are you doing? Do it right now, okay? Seriously, guys. It does help me out a lot when you do so. And follow me on my social media. Links down below and on the screen for that. So with that being said, here to talk about this Bulls GM situation which just emerged. I have a lot to get to. The GMs that are going to be in the search for the Bulls, who they should hire, who they will hire, everything else in between. Let's get into it. So in case you have not heard, ESPN reporter Adrian Wojnarowski has broken the news, and he tweeted that the Bulls have started their formal search process to hire a top-level basketball executive to run the team, and essentially saying this person is going to have full authority on basketball decisions. And yes, that means what you think it means and what I think it means, and that is Gar Forman and John Paxson, a.k.a. Gar and Pax, are going to be replaced. Now, are they fired? Not quite. But here's the thing, okay? And I did my full reaction on this in my other video. You guys can go check it out, my recents. And a lot of you guys were asking me, Faiz, if Gar and Pax aren't fired, does this really change anything? I mean, does it really do anything? And here's the thing, it does. Because here's the thing, it was never really realistic for us to even expect Gar and Pax to be fired. Okay, I knew it was not going to happen because Jerry Reinsdorf and the Reinsdorf family, they are close friends with the Paxsons, with Gar Forman, more so John Paxson than Gar Forman, but they're friends with them. They're not going to humiliate their friends by firing them. They're just going to say, oh, they're reassigned to a different role. I don't care. Call it what you want, as long as they weren't in their positions that they were previously in. So now they are probably not going to be, because that is what Adrian Wojnarowski also reported on, and we're going to actually get somebody else in here to run the damn team from the front office side, and I will take it. The fact that the Bulls are even doing this, folks, is enough for me. I mean, at this point, beggars can't be choosers. I will take it. I will take it. I will take it. Okay, so again, this was the best case scenario, so that is why I'm saying let's just be positive about this. The fact that the Bulls have even done this, I'll take it again, okay? And so with this search process now, Casey Johnson, another great reporter for the Bulls, basically said that the Bulls are going to start this process like very soon, like next week, okay? And they were initially going to do it at the end of the season, but obviously with the NBA season suspended, they're just going to start the process now. And it's a fluid situation, but here's what we do know. We do know the candidates that they are looking at, okay? And this was also reported by Darnell Mayberry, a great Bulls reporter for The Athletic. He basically tweeted out the list of candidates for the position, okay? And here are the list of candidates here that are going to be interviewed by the Bulls. Chad Buchanan, GM of the Pacers. Arturos Karnisovas, GM of the Nuggets. Adam Simon, he is the VP and assistant GM of the Heat. And Bobby Webster, GM of the Raptors. Now, you'll notice I also have two names here at the bottom in Sam Presti and Masai Ujiri. Obviously, everybody knows them. They're very well-known executives in the NBA. Why do I have them here? And more specifically, why do I have a checkbox next to them? Because we also heard and read Darnell Mayberry tweeted the Bulls will not be interviewing Presti or Ujiri for the role, and they will not be interviewing a player agent turned executive. So like a Leon Rose, like a Rob Pelinka, guys like that were agents that are now running teams like the Lakers and the Knicks. That's not what the Bulls are going to do. They're not going to go down that route, and they're not going to go after Ujiri and Presti. My guess is their current teams are probably not going to let them go. And number two, the price may be a little too high, and we know the Bulls have been very financially conservative over the years. So these are the names. I'll talk about them, about all of these guys, because it's important to know who is the guy that is the right guy for the job. And one of the things that I mentioned previously was I want this GM, whoever this person is, to come in to have NBA level experience, obviously, okay? I don't want somebody brand new at the job. Now, they don't necessarily have to, have been a GM or a VP in particular in terms of, one or the other, because again, we don't know if the role is going to be both or one. We still don't know. Is John Paxson's role getting replaced? Is Gar Forman's role getting replaced? But I did want them to just be in the NBA circles, and all of these guys are, okay? And we'll start with Chad Buchanan, who is the GM of the Pacers, and he's got a ton of experience, folks. 10 years with the Blazers. He was there for 2 years with the Hornets, 3 years with the Pacers, the team he's with now. And so he's got a ton of experience around the league. He's very well respected. His biggest move in his executive career thus far has been drafting Damian Lillard. Now, he was the guy that played a part in drafting Damian Lillard, but also trading away the pick, or getting the pick, I believe, that ended up being Damian Lillard. So that's a pretty good, mark on your resume. You like that. Let's move on to Arturos Karnisovas, the GM of the Nuggets. Another guy a lot of teams around the league like a lot. He's a former player. He was a scout for the Rockets for about 5 years. So he was a GM for 3 years since 2017, and an assistant GM for 4 years, okay? And his biggest signing thus far, I believe, in his GM career as a GM has been the signing of Paul Millsap. Now, again, nothing to write home about, but Paul Millsap's solid, okay? But when he was the assistant GM, the Nuggets, again, they drafted Jokic, okay? And here's the thing with the Nuggets. The Nuggets are a great team to model the Bulls after, because they're virtually a team that went from a rebuilding team to a contender just off drafted players, okay? Nikola Jokic, drafted. Jamal Murray, drafted. So you get my point here with their core and that team in a small market being able to get built up to a contender, a championship contender. I mean, that's something to look at. And I've mentioned the Nuggets as a team the Bulls should have tailored themselves after for years, okay? So I really like that. I like Arturos Karnisovas. I think this is, a great job by him with the Nuggets. Let's move on to Adam Simon of the Heat. He is the VP of Basketball Operations / Assistant General Manager. Now, when we think of the Heat in terms of their executives, all you think about is Pat Riley, right? Oh, Pat Riley runs the show. Well, he's actually been with the Heat for 25 years, okay? So he's been with the Heat for 25 years. Nobody knows about him, but in NBA circles, he's well known, obviously. And he's actually played a big part in drafting a lot of the Heat studs like Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Justice Winslow. I know he got traded, obviously, and so did Josh Richardson, another guy they helped draft, but they did draft him. And they also found undrafted gems like Kendrick Nunn, like Hassan Whiteside, like Duncan Robinson. So Adam Simon has played a part in all this, which is impressive. Okay, so can't underestimate that. And finally, Bobby Webster, general manager of the Raptors. And a lot of people don't know this. People think Masai Ujiri is the GM. No, he is the VP of basketball operations, similar to how it was for the Bulls with John Paxson being the VP of basketball operations and Gar Forman being the GM. Masai Ujiri's the John Paxson. Bobby Webster's the Gar Forman here, okay, for the Raptors. And so he's been with the Bobby Webster has been since 2013 in a variety of roles, but he's actually been in the NBA since 2006, and he has been in a very specific role in terms of he's a cap guru, a capologist, if you will. He understands the NBA salary cap really well. That helps a lot with trades, and he was actually one of the big factors with the Kawhi Leonard trade, and he became the Raptors GM in 2017. And he's been an associate director for the NBA salary cap management. So a very, very, very smart guy. And he's also the youngest GM in the NBA at 35 years old. Now, again, I did mention experience, but to me, here's the thing with, even though he's 35, he does have a lot of experience in the NBA. And to me, age is just a number, because we take a look at another sport like Sean McVay. When he got hired, he was the youngest coach for the Rams, and that was a fantastic hire for them. So to me, obviously him being youngest isn't an impediment whatsoever. So these are the guys here that the Bulls are looking at. And to be quite honest with you, I don't have a problem with any of them. They all have solid experience. They all have done solid jobs with their teams. And I like what they've done, okay? If I had to pick one, who is my favorite? I'd probably go with Bobby Webster. Everything I read about him has been fantastic. Everything I've, heard, everything I can find about Bobby Webster just tells me he's going to be an absolute stud. And with Masai Ujiri, he also has spoken very highly of Bobby Webster, and a guy who understands the cap and a guy who understands like the analytics behind it. I mean, that is huge because, again, there's only two ways to improve in the NBA. Well, three. It's drafting, trades, and free agency, right? We know the Bulls haven't been the greatest free agent destination. So that leaves the draft and that leaves trades. Well, GarPax, say what you want about them. The one thing they did well was draft, okay? I mean, Luol Deng, Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, like that was their staple of being able to draft players that are decent to good. Jimmy Butler, again, 30th pick. Trades are one thing where we need help on, and that is where Bobby Webster can help the Bulls out a lot. So to me, I like Bobby Webster. I think he would be the guy that I would want for the Bulls to hire. If I had to rank these guys, I'd probably go Bobby Webster, then Arturos Karnisovas, then Adam Simon, and then Chad Buchanan. That would be my order, but my guy is Bobby Webster. And here's the thing with the Raptors, man. Raptors, another team that, again, got rebuilt and they became contenders. Now, I know everybody wants to just say they're, good with Kawhi, but again, I told you, Bobby Webster played a part in the Kawhi trade. And now without Kawhi this past season, they were still fantastic, okay? One of the top teams in the East with studs they drafted in Pascal Siakam. Fred VanVleet is no slouch. They had traded for Serge Ibaka, traded for Marc Gasol. Like, these are great moves, and that is what propelled the Raptors to a championship contender level. And so to me, you can't underestimate that. So to me, my guy is Bobby Webster, but again, I don't have an issue with any of these other four guys. Let me know who you guys like here. Who do you want the Bulls to hire for their general manager / VP role, executive role? Who do you guys like? Leave a comment down below and tell me why. I'm going with Bobby Webster just because of everything I've read and heard about him has been fantastic. And the moves that he's made, I've been a big fan of. But let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching.